say a quick hello from the windy and wild and dramatic west of Ireland here. I am up on the cliffs of Moher, so we'll see if anyone joins in, but otherwise, I will just make a nice little live video here to share with everyone. One of the most famous sites in this entire country. I'm in County Clare, and of course, I remember these cliffs when you could come down and lay over the edge. I see someone has joined. Hi there, Lynn. Hello to you, my beloved Lynn. Thank you for joining. I thought, I could put this up here and have it here for posterity all the same. The reception darts in and out. It's not fantastic, but it is so beautiful that it is kind of a must see. And the fact that I was getting some, hey, Jazz, hey, hi there, everyone. Look, everybody's coming on. So I am up at one of the most fabulous sites in all of Ireland. It's a narrow path with an electrified fence. Personally, I found that shocking, but my group is walking up the hill in the distance there. So it is so, is it really, Ruth? That's lovely to hear. Let me just bring you down here for a minute or two. Um, um, okay, Lynn. Um, well, it's lovely to have you here, Ozzy. It is so nice, and again, you can hear the wind. I'm just not going to be able. I'm just not going to be able to get past the wind. I can pull my hood up every now and then. See, I'm holding my hat in my hand so it doesn't blow over the edge. But these are the Cliffs of Moher. I'm in County Clare, and I'm south of the Burren. And isn't that nice? And now, when I get right up to the edge, it's a bit shakier. So I thought I would come out and show people a little bit around here, and then I'll take you up for a few views. I'm going to keep this down to a nice short visit, and people can, of course, watch a replay of it afterwards. But this is now different environment for my group from what they've had the last few days, because they've been on sort of rocky mountainous coastline. And now we're on these much more rolling green hills of Ireland out here. And of course, the stone walls, these ones, of course, are just this kind of shale formation. Oh, it's all limestone. And I know it's windy as can be. Joel, I thought it was you, pal. Nice. Good to have you here. Now, if you have heard of Lahinch, famous international golfing destination, that's just down the valley down here. Now, the Cliffs of Moher, what happens with these particular cliffs, of course, they are so world famous and they've shown up with every image you've ever seen of Ireland. And so, obviously, they're an incredibly desirable place to come. As a consequence, I actually had a booking for my tour group because the coach park fills up. So, literally booked in for 10:45. So, it's about 20 past 11 now or so in the morning over here. Came in, and you get 2 hours. And what I like to do is take people for a walk. Those are up to it. They do have little golf buggies that help move people up and down the hills as well if they have mobility issues. But let's go up. And again, I reset my phone just as I was coming up here. But we'll go up just to the very edge up here and give you a sense of these massive cliffs. And we'll be able to look out to the beautiful Aran Islands. Now, there's 3 Aran Islands. Inishmore, Inishman, Inisheer. Inisheer is the smallest and the closest to where we are here in County Clare. But just from just a sheer and utter beautiful point of view, what a treat to be up here. So we're just starting. In fact, there's these 2 people here, but I'm already looking out towards the Aran Islands in the distance there. And I do have one fun little personal story about them as well as we look out there. But have a look at the majesty of the North Atlantic, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to do a little bit of a zoom for a minute here. So this little island out there, oops, sorry, my zoom is not engaging. Have a look. First of all, let's have a look at the cliffs. It is, Lynn, it's wonderful. Have a look. So these are these world famous cliffs down there. They've been eroding for, well, millions of years. Isn't it gorgeous, Ruth? And happy celebrations over in Israel, by the way, celebrating 75 years of independence. So, but as we do come up to here, I found a sort of quiet spot I thought was the best place to come and share some of these views out here. Now I'm going to try, the light is just hitting the town on little Inisheer in the distance there. There we go. There I can zoom. So that little island is about 2 square miles, 3 kilometers roughly. And a number of years ago, I actually spent nearly 3 months on that island trying to learn some more of the Irish language. In the curve around the second one, Inishman, one of the most traditional. You see, all the houses are on the same side, but they're a little more protected from the wind and the weather. And then Inishmore, the largest one in the distance. But if you look at mountains way out in the distance, out there, you're looking up towards Galway Bay, and those are the mountains of Connemara. So it is just, I think one runs out of superlatives when you talk about the beauty of this part of Ireland. There are lots of people crowding around, but it seems reasonable because they all want to see it as well. So fair is fair. But they've got all these posts. Now that one has been rejuvenated, the one up on the cliffs there. But the British actually built control posts the whole way down the coast of Ireland after first Spanish Armada washed up on the shores of the west coast of Ireland, all the way from West Cork in the south, all the way to Donegal in the north. And then they built them when they were afraid that Napoleon was going to invade. And they built so many of them, the whole coastline, because they thought Napoleon might try and come through Ireland to get to England. So can I just do a quick check? Are you still hearing me okay, everyone? It doesn't tell me if I've dropped connection or not. So if it happens to drop off, is what it is. But these are, of course, the world famous cliffs of Moher, and what a day. This is the perfect balance of everything I want up here. It's windy, so that adds to the environment of it, but it's also keeping the rain away, the lovely clouds up in the distance, and then flowers everywhere. And the burn is famous, perfect. The burn is famous for flowers because there's migratory birds from all over the North Atlantic that come in and bring seeds with them. And in amongst the limestone, you have different flowers that just crop up in so many different areas. But isn't this just about perfect, everyone? So the visitor center's up over the hill in the distance there, and it's well done. It's built into the side of the mountain with a grass roof, so it's not an eyesore. But of course, you have to manage the millions of people who want to come here. And if you can see the texture of the water down below, how incredible is that? So it's just lovely to see that down there. And it's nice to have this zoom out here. But boy, oh boy, you look out of those islands. That's one of the places where the Irish language is still very much alive and well. People moved back over to those islands. They've been living on and off for thousands of years, of course. But they moved back during the Great Hunger, and they would gather up seaweed just to create a little bit of soil and to raise a bit of food and to fish. So it's a pretty magical and isolated place. But boy, oh boy, when you get into the middle of winter in a North Atlantic storm, that is a whole different world altogether. So it is fun. Just doing a little YouTube recording. That's it. Some people from my tour there. Now, years ago, you could go and lay down over the cliffs and actually look down into the water. They put up, of course, a lot of these barriers like you see right up here now because, well, frankly, some people aren't up to walking in the winds and the storms you get along here. Have a look at the cliffs in the distance. So you drive north of here for only a few miles or a few kilometers, and you get to the little town of Doolin. Doolin's where I'll be having lunch today. It's really basically 3 pubs, but they have music going in the summertime all the time, and people just drop in. If you happen to play the tin whistle or the drum or the accordion, you can just hop into a reel and look at all the lovely flowers all through the area. So the Cliffs of Moher are just one of those sites that everyone feels the need to see in Ireland, which is pretty significant. And I'm just trying to get you some nice shoes. I'll get up to the top of the hill, and but you can see how many people are wandering out in the distance there. So it's hey Martine, bonjour. Just thought I'd do a little YouTube. So I'm just seeing some more of the people from my group. So I'm here with a group from Michigan. Lovely, friendly, enthusiastic people. And the neat thing about this particular trip is it's quite long. You know, with 2 full weeks, we're just not in a rush. And that makes a big difference, of course, for traveling around this fine country. Now, here's some people. They don't seem to be policing it at all today, but standing out over the barriers, having their photos done. But look at the birds So crows everywhere. But then, of course, lots of seabirds that are nesting in the cliffs down below. So, but as I get up to the higher point, I'll be able to do some more of a panoramic for you. But isn't it just gorgeous? Now, here you start to get a sense of the rolling hills of County Clare. So lay my head on a keg of brandy, 'tis my fancy, I do declare. For while I'm drinking, I'm always thinking on lovely Molly from the County Clare. Hi, Diane. Good morning to you. So yeah, it's about 11:30 in the morning here. Lovely. So I probably am not gonna step up and over the barricade because of, you know, uh, I'm in charge of people, and I don't want to set a precedent. But isn't it lovely to have you all here? So I will. Now I'm not going to keep this going too long. So thank you, everyone, for coming on, and then we can share it. But look there, look at these views out here. Um, oh, have you, Martine? That's lovely of you. But I say I thought I'd keep this one just a little short. I didn't put any description, just called it the Cliffs of Moher. But I'm amazed because I'd heard that there were reception issues up here, but clearly not, which is just fantastic. Let's keep going for a little bit because I want to show you one of the old English towers way in the distance up there. You'll see there's another tower. I'll get up to a point here and I'll zoom in for you a little bit. And these were again all during the Napoleonic times. And so that tower could message with the next one down the coast and so forth and so on in case Napoleon tried to invade Ireland. Isn't it lovely, Ruth? See, I mean, who knows about all these reception issues? But hey, Michelle, see, everybody's coming on. So those are, for those of you joining in late, those are the Aran Islands out there. And one of the truly connected areas to deep Irish history. Fabulous. Hard life historically. But boy, a pretty desirable place to be now. And those are, of course, the Cliffs of Moher, Moher. But if I start to scan around, give you a sense of this whole area, and then you have a bay out here. Now there's an electrified fence here, so I'm not going to go lean on that. But that down in the valley, I know, Ruth, but that's La Hinch down there in the distance, and that is world famous for links golf. Now, links golf is pretty tough because you have so much sand in the rock that you just can't swing a club with the same sort of force, and they have these deep bunkers. You know, it is magical, and I'm glad I got here early today. The last time I was here was last August, and that would have been indeed shocking then. The last time I was here, it was just so many people that it kind of ruins the experience a little bit. But see, I've just been able to find a little pocket, a little space in here where I'm away from the masses. So it's so nice to have you all coming on and hanging out. I'm hoping to put up a tour tomorrow in Killarney as well. But they are calling for some rain down there, and I have quite a busy day. I will have a couple more tours, of course, in Ireland. For those of you watching our YouTube videos, it is much appreciated. So, you know, we kind of charge towards these 4,000 hours of view time, and I think we're up to about 26 or 2,700 now. So that means we've added 1,400 in just 2 weeks. So that's pretty neat. So, hey, give me a wave. There's those people. The water is smooth, although you can hear the wind. I thought I wasn't even going to bother trying to cover up my ears. I think it just adds to the flair and the feel of the whole thing. Now, I did once, back when I was on Inisheer at the age of 21, so just a few years ago, I did help build a stone wall, so I have had that experience. And if you get this limestone, if you get, if you get a mallet and you get this kind of limestone at the angle, you can actually crack it quite quickly. And so that's how you can actually move the rock and make it form, because they build, of course, these dry stone fences without mortar. Now, all of this, of course, is mostly just grazing land for sheep and a few cows. So that's the main thing up here. And of course, these windy, colder conditions cause the sheep to grow their wool really quite quickly. So some of the sheep are raised just for meat and some for the wool, of course. Um, it isn't actually that chilly, to be honest. I'm in my jacket here, of course. But aside from that, I'm actually not too cold. I'm holding my hat because I don't want it to blow off over the edge. Um, but it's probably, I'd give it an ambient temperature if I were to guess of maybe 10 degrees Celsius, but the wind is making it a little bit cooler from that point of view. Now, let's have a little view down here in the distance. Have a look. So lots of erosion happening all the time, of course. Now, Ireland is obviously real perched out um, on the far west of Europe. And then what separates, of course, Europe from Turtle Island from North America is, of course, the Mid-Atlantic Rift. So, gradually we're here and we're still moving east. Meanwhile, North and South America are moving west. Now, it doesn't affect flight times, but you know what? It is about a centimeter a year, or even 2 centimeters. So it's more than one might think. All these shale formations, well, because you have so much light limestone, flowers can grow really rather easily. And you might notice from time to time they get a little bit of rain in this part of the world. So that's why, of course, it's all green and lush as well. But I just want to carry on a little bit further for everyone here, just to some slightly better views. Oh, goodness me. Just want to show you the cliffs up the other way. But have a look at that, everyone. Isn't that just spectacularly magical? And I really do hope the sound of the wind, I hope you can hear me, but that the wind is coming through, because that just adds so much to it as well. That is pretty spectacular. So I'm just gonna sneak past a couple of people, and you see up the far other end of the cliffs down through here. That's exactly right, Gregory. See, and yet yesterday in Galway it was blurry, and today, basically what I've worked out with the blurriness, I don't think I'll have blurriness back home in the Rockies, because anytime my phone is showing 5G, then it works really well. If it drops to the 3G, then that's where I have blurry issues, and that's just because, well, partly the west of Ireland's a bit like that, but also because I'm on my Canadian phone, it's whoever their partner is. So that just is what it is. So when it is blurry, I appreciate your support. But how would you like to head out on a boat from here and go try and find another landmass? Can you possibly imagine? Or find a place to dock in around here? Now, if we went across around the bay and further down, then you're heading down to the estuary of the Shannon River, the longest river in Britain or Ireland. But look at the cliffs. What do you think of them apples? I think they're pretty darn spectacular. So it's such a treat to be up here, isn't it, Lynn? Oh, now you'll every now and then see whole collections of seabirds out there, because the mackerel are running right now. Although most of the fishing's already hit their quotas, you can find the odd whale out here. It is Martin, and you can even find well, there's bottlenose dolphins, and there's a lot of sea life out there. And so it's quite productive sea. It's just the right conditions for fishing in are obviously a difficult thing in this part of the world. Yeah, so I've been watching people walk up on the upper track, and it's very, but they say it's a protected environment. So therefore, I think it's important to respect that as well. And have a look at the cliffs. So I'm thrilled to be able to share this with all of you. And the sky. And the sky, honestly, Rick, the sky just changes again and again through here. Now, again, I'm looking south at the moment. There are windmills in the distance, and that's good news for Ireland because, of course, we don't have a lot of natural sources of power aside from, well, the wind, which you can hear right now, which is part of the fun. So I tell you what, there are dandelions. Yep, dandelions all over as well. And you get a little midge, a little black fly around here, but this is why I'm saying to my group today, I hope it's going to be windy because then it keeps the bugs away. And I do want to try and show you, oh, it's so much than it is. Those are all birds nesting in the cliffs. So I know that it's a real tweak to see them, but it is so lovely to see down there. What a So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to keep going any further this way. Well, uh, I am. You know what? It is just stunning, isn't it, Michelle? It is just sort of the definition there. See the crashing waves down in the distance. Um, well, it's fun to see, 25 people coming on, and it's lovely to surprise you and to be able to have this. So it's really nice. Please remember to hit that like button. I don't even know if that makes a difference or not, but we'll be able to share this particular one. And so anyway, we've already been going for 20 minutes. Hey, Mary Beth. So nice to see you here. Um, so I tell you, you're so welcome. I'm thrilled that you're able to make it. So I want to send everyone a big hug and a big kiss from up here at the mighty Cliffs of Moher. And because I'm in April and not August, they're not crazy busy. They're busy, but much more tenable up here right now. But so much you've already joined me down the coast, and it's just beautiful. Let me just the wind is just moving across. I just want to show you the wind moving across that water down there. It's just remarkable. A lot of people who feel it's their right to walk on the path that it says "Do not walk on." You're so welcome, Lynn. Big hugs to everyone. Big warm wishes here from windy, wild west of Ireland. And I just have a fun day for my group today. And we'll be off seeing some Irish dancing tonight, which is pretty neat too. Have a look at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I will. It it is Michelle bucket list, but don't come in high summer, right? You want to do this when it's. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to say goodbye. So I first want to say, as always, peace and love from the Cliffs of Moher. I'm so thrilled to have done this. Can't wait to share this with my kid too. Um, but I always want to finish with some important information. And so what I want to tell you, this is a bit of a safety thing because people can actually dive off the cliffs. So what you do if you end up down in the water, what you can look for, because there's a lot of magic in that water there. And if you were to swim up to that little rock right there, you would be able to actually meet with a